again. So remember me weaving some fabric and then stomping that fabric and then dyeing that fabric. It has now become a garment, which is pretty awesome, I would say, to have a garment that you've really made yourself, like all the way. Like I didn't spin this yarn, I admit that. I could have, though. I have that capacity now. Yeah, it feels amazing. So I want to walk you through my process here, what I did. So I ended up with a red piece of vadmal, of cloth, that was almost 2 meters long and 75 centimeters wide. And I was thinking, okay, I want to make a garment, because that was like part of the schedule, make a garment out of this woven fabric that we made ourselves. And then of course I want to make a zero waste garment, because when you painstakingly made something by yourself, you don't want to end up with bits you can't use that you're just throwing away. That would hurt me deeply. So I did a bit of maths, kids. When you're wondering, why do I need to learn math? What's this for? This is what it's for. Lots of the math you do learn at school, though, is not very applicable to daily life, but this is. So I want to show you. So I got my measurements, my 2 meters and my 75, and then I wanted to make a skirt. So the only measurement I really needed was my own waistline, which is 80 centimeters. And then I thought, okay, so how many panels can I turn this fabric into? And then I just needed those panels to add up to 80 centimeters. And I decided then to make 9 panels, of which the end panel is divided up into 2 bits. And then using this math here, these are my calculations. I knew how wide each panel needed to be at the top. And then the rest sort of solves itself, because then the rest of it will be the hem of your skirt. Not very complicated. So yeah, this is my drawing, and then I made a copy of this and made a skirt in scale 1 to 10 in paper. Look at that, it's like a tiny lampshade. And then here's my split panel, and then I decided that I would put a zipper in here. And then we can look at the hem happening. So to make a waistband for the skirt, I decided to have 10 centimeters up here. I'm going to show you again on the paper. So here we have 10 centimeters. And then I would fold that, and that would give me a hemline of 5 centimeters, right? But that also meant, as I added this material up here, I would also have 10 extra centimeters in the hem, and that I would not fold double in the same, well, I will fold it double, but not in the same way. So at the waistline, you want to create something flat and straight, so that it's turned down once, ending up with these 5 centimeters. However, at the hem, I just turned up these 10 centimeters that I had, meaning it gives extra weight to the hem of the skirt and it makes it flow nicely. So after trying out in paper, seeing that my scale 1 to 10 worked fine, I needed to transfer this into paper. Here it is. This is my only pattern piece. Everything I needed to make this skirt out of the fabric that I had woven myself. And to make the side panels, well, simply just fold it. Ta-da! And then if you're a good tailor, you make a mock, right? You make a mock-up. And I don't do that because it's boring. Well, I did, sort of, but not really. So I'd been to a store in Stockholm called Stilbrott, which is fashion crime or style crime, love it, and bought some leftover material, which happened to be one of my favorite designers, Emma Shipley. So I had this gorgeous, not cheap, Emma Shipley fabric. Ta-da! And I realized that, yes, this fits perfectly to make version 1 of the skirt. So even though this fabric was far from cheap, I mean, it's still less investment than to put the scissors into something that you've made yourself. And I cut out all my pieces and I laid them out on the table, and then realized that I had made 2 similar pieces of the split one. So 2 A1 pieces, but not A1 and AB. So I had to make an extra panel out of another fabric, because I really did not have enough fabric left to be able to make this again. This too is a Emma Shipley fabric, so now we have some lemurs happening in this lovely rainforest that is the skirt as well. And then I thought, well, I don't want to just make the shape of the skirt, because I'm going to line my final product, the skirt made from my own fabric. So I'm going to line this as well, which, when you're lining a mock, it is really not a mock anymore. In no way. So I lined it with a lovely viscose, and these seams I did with a overlock machine, which the school does not have, but a friend of mine has an overlock, so I went to her studio and used her overlock machine. And then we have the most, I'm so proud of the zipper. I've never put in a zipper before in anything. And I mean, how invisible isn't this? Like, you can't see it. And it's also very neat and tidy on the inside. So yeah, this is my first skirt, the first iteration. And I keep being amazed when you make something for yourself from your own measurement. Oh, it fits like it's tailored. Oh, right, it is. So look at that. Very nice, good for dancing. I enjoyed it. And as you see, I purposely did not make the hem round. I thought this sort of geometrical thing happening was quite fun. So I let it be that way. Lovely. And yes, as I then, from how the pattern is constructed, the panels will be turned upside down every second time. So you can see here we have upside down parrot, and here we have not upside down parrot. But I mean, this fabric is so busy that you don't really think about it. So now I had made this, and I was confident that yes, this works, I know how to do this. It was time to put the scissors into my own fabric. And now I made the mistake once of cutting out 2 similar of the half panels. So I wouldn't do that again. Also, that wasn't a brisk, as the pattern was designed for this fabric specifically. The other piece of fabric that I had left over with the Emma Shipley fabric, that had another shape. So I ended up laying out the pattern piece differently. And here she is. I mean, yeah, right, yeah. She's gorgeous. I am so proud of this. It is so punk, and it's so neat, and it's so gorgeous. And of course, I knew this, but you know, you still get surprised anyway. It was completely different to work in this fabric, this woolen fabric, than it was in this stiff cotton canvas. Again, she's hemmed, lovely, but the only seams I've made by hand on the skirt, or on the first skirt, is the inside by the zipper. Everything else is just machine stitched. So this is machine stitched. This is not, because as this fabric is a lot fluffier, to have a flat seam on here would not have looked good. Like, it would have caused a slight indentation, which I didn't want. So I actually sat down and did what I was supposed to do, which is do all of this by hand. Well, not putting the panels together and putting the lining together. Again, the lining I did with an overlock machine. But yeah, all the hem is done by hand, and also the hem in the waist done by hand. Another difference to this skirt from the first one is, as this fabric is a bit more floppy, it's softer, I chose to put a piece of really stiff linen cloth in here, so you can't see it, but on the inside there's some really stiff linen, just 5 centimeters of it going all the way around in the waist. Yeah, that's it. Again, very pleased with the very invisible zipper. Neatly done. Do we really need to make it this neat? Yes, we do. So I'm going to show you that one as well on me. So I'm thinking the first skirt is more of a summer skirt, and the second one more of a winter skirt. And also the lining, it felt like a good idea to, well, I'm having zipper troubles. There we go. To line this, because otherwise you risk having the woolen fabric getting attached to whatever you're wearing on your legs, like if you're wearing a pair of tights underneath, and the skirt will creep upwards, and that's not brilliant. Yeah. Ta-da! Lovely, isn't she? I am so proud. So this was the final project. This is the final thing that I made. I will make another video with a summary of my thoughts from this year. Yeah. See you again soon.